Elvis Presley and Anne Margaret had a passionate relationship that blossomed during the filming of Viva Las Vegas. Their shared love for music and performance drew them together, but their views on marriage created a rift. Anne Margaret was a strong, independent woman who was focused on her career. She sought a partner who would support her ambitions and allow her to thrive in her professional life. In contrast, Elvis held traditional views about marriage. He believed that once married, a woman's primary role should be to manage the home and raise children, much like his mother did. This fundamental difference in values led to tension between them. As Anne Margaret's career continued to rise, Elvis felt increasingly uncomfortable with her success. He struggled with the idea of a wife who was in the spotlight, fearing it could overshadow his own fame. Their relationship, filled with love and excitement, ultimately faced challenges that neither could overcome. The pressures of their differing priorities weighed heavily on them, leading to a heartbreaking decision that would change the course of their lives. Elvis and Anne Margaret shared a romance that lasted about a year, capturing the public's attention with their chemistry and charisma. However, during this time, Elvis had already made a promise of marriage to Priscilla Presley. This commitment played a crucial role in shaping his relationships. Even after his romance with Anne Margaret ended, the friendship between Elvis and Anne Margaret remained strong until Elvis's death in 1977. They both went on to marry other people, yet their bond endured through the years. Elvis's dedication to Priscilla, who lived at Graceland, was a significant reason for concluding his relationship with Anne Margaret. Despite the affection he held for Anne Margaret, Elvis fulfilled his promise to Priscilla by marrying her in 1967. This commitment showcased his loyalty and the depth of his feelings for Priscilla, reflecting the complex nature of love and relationships in his life. Several people believe that Anne Margaret's ambitions and career turned Elvis off, despite his love and loyalty for her. Elvis had a traditional and old-fashioned view of gender roles. He wanted a wife who was not a star, someone who would fit into the domestic mold he envisioned. His upbringing in the South shaped his beliefs about relationships and family. While he admired Anne Margaret's talent and charisma, he also felt uncomfortable with her rising fame and the attention she received. This conflict created tension between them. Elvis wanted a partner who would support him and share a more private life, rather than one who sought the spotlight. His desire for a traditional relationship clashed with Anne Margaret's ambition, leading to a complicated dynamic. Ultimately, this may have contributed to the challenges in their relationship, as Elvis struggled to reconcile his feelings for her with his ideals about gender roles and partnership. Anne Margaret was a talented actress and singer who poured her heart into her career. Her dedication often conflicted with Elvis Presley's traditional views on a wife's role in a relationship. While Elvis cherished the idea of a partner who would support him at home, Anne Margaret had her ambitions and dreams, which sometimes created tension between them. Despite these differences, Elvis and Anne Margaret felt a deep connection that they believed made them soulmates. Their personalities matched well, and they shared many passions, including music and performance. This bond drew them together, allowing them to understand each other in ways that few others could. They enjoyed each other's company, often finding joy in the simple moments they shared, whether on set or at social gatherings. Their chemistry was undeniable, and their time together was filled with laughter and creativity. Even though their paths diverged due to their differing priorities, the memories they created together remained a cherished part of their lives. The complexities of their relationship showcased the struggles many face when balancing personal ambitions with love. Throughout his life, Elvis Presley held a deep admiration for Anne Margaret and her accomplishments in the entertainment industry. He closely followed her career and often expressed his support by sending her flowers whenever she opened a new show. This gesture illustrated not just his respect for her talent, but also his affection for her as a person. However, their relationship faced significant challenges, primarily due to Anne Margaret's rising career and Elvis's traditional views on gender roles. Elvis, who was raised in a time when men were often seen as the primary providers, struggled with the idea of a partner who was equally successful and independent. This mindset created tension between them, as Anne Margaret's ambitions sometimes clashed with Elvis's expectations. Despite their mutual feelings, the societal norms of the time, and Elvis's beliefs about relationships posed a barrier to their connection. The complexity of their dynamic highlighted the difficulties of balancing personal relationships with professional aspirations in a changing world. Priscilla was young and naive when she entered Elvis's life, which made her fit into his ideal vision of a wife. Unlike many women in the entertainment industry, she came from a different background, which likely appealed to Elvis. He was searching for someone who could provide a sense of stability and normalcy amidst the chaos of fame. Their relationship was marked by a strong bond that was nurtured through shared experiences and interests. Elvis's connection with Margret also revealed much about his personality and preferences. They shared a love for music that went beyond mere performance. It was a deep passion that shaped their lives. Both enjoyed riding motorcycles, which represented a sense of freedom and adventure that resonated with Elvis's spirit. Family values were important to him, and he cherished moments spent with loved ones. Privacy was another common interest, as both Priscilla and Margret understood the need to shield their personal lives from the public eye. Their devotion to God played a significant role in their lives, guiding their choices and actions. Late-night talks were a cherished activity for Elvis, whether with Priscilla or Margret, as they allowed for deeper connections and understanding. These moments were filled with laughter, dreams, and plans for the future, strengthening their emotional ties. The blend of these interests created a rich tapestry of relationships that defined Elvis's life and the people he surrounded himself with. Their synchronicity in performances was truly remarkable. Elvis Presley and Margret shared a unique connection that went beyond the stage. Elvis often admitted that they moved and felt music in the same way, creating a powerful chemistry that captivated audiences. This connection made their performances together not just entertaining but also deeply emotional. Their interactions were filled with energy and passion, drawing fans into their world. As their relationship blossomed, Margret became a regular member of Elvis's entourage. Their love affair was more than a fleeting romance. It intertwined with their careers and personal lives. They traveled together, shared moments of joy and laughter, and supported each other through the ups and downs of fame. Margret's presence added a special spark to Elvis's life, and their bond was evident both on and off stage. Their time together created unforgettable memories, solidifying their place in music history as a legendary couple whose love and artistry left a lasting impact. Understanding the complexities of relationships in the life of Elvis Presley reveals a significant chapter involving Margret. Their affair was marked by mutual respect, especially from Margret, who acknowledged Elvis's commitments to Priscilla. This understanding led her to recognize the necessity of ending their romantic involvement. The pressures of public scrutiny and the expectations surrounding Elvis's personal life complicated their relationship. Rumors began to swirl about an engagement between Elvis and Margret, which added further strain. Despite the excitement these rumors generated, Elvis took the time to clarify that they were untrue. This clarification, however, did little to quell the public's fascination and speculation. Ultimately, the combination of mutual respect and the weight of public misunderstanding contributed to the end of their affair. The complexities of their relationship illustrate how personal obligations can often conflict with public perception, creating challenges that are difficult to navigate. Elvis held traditional beliefs about the roles of women in society, shaped by his upbringing in a conservative environment. He thought that women should stay at home and focus on raising a family. This perspective was common in the culture of his youth, and influenced many of his views throughout his life. When it came to his career, these beliefs also extended into how he perceived women in the entertainment industry. During the filming of Viva Las Vegas, a tension arose regarding Margret, who was co-starring with him. She was receiving a lot of attention for her performance and charisma. This attention did not sit well with Elvis and his manager, who felt that it overshadowed Elvis himself. They were concerned that Margret's rising popularity could distract from Elvis's own star power. This situation highlighted the jealousy that could emerge in the competitive world of show business, especially when it came to attention and recognition. Elvis's feelings about women and fame often clashed, creating a complex dynamic in his relationships with female co-stars. His traditional beliefs sometimes made it difficult for him to accept women who were equally talented and charismatic. This struggle between admiration and jealousy was a recurring theme in his life, shaping both his personal and professional relationships. Elvis Presley's relationships often reflected his desire for control, especially in the context of his romance with Margret. As Margret's career began to rise, her independence and ambition made her a less suitable partner for Elvis. He preferred relationships where he could exert more influence and maintain a dominant role. With Margret, this was challenging because she was a strong-willed and talented individual, carving out her own space in Hollywood. This dynamic created tension, as Elvis found it difficult to reconcile his need for control with her growing independence. Their connection was passionate and intense, marked by a deep mutual attraction, but the underlying issues of control and independence ultimately strained their relationship. Elvis's desire to be the one in charge clashed with Margret's aspirations and self-sufficiency. As she thrived in her career, it became clear that the balance of power was shifting, making it hard for Elvis to feel secure in the relationship. This struggle for control highlighted a recurring theme in Elvis's life, where his partners often faced challenges in maintaining their own identities alongside his powerful persona. The complexities of their romance illustrate how personal ambitions and the need for control can impact relationships, especially in the world of fame and success. Elvis's longing for a partner he could easily guide and influence stood in stark contrast to Margret's vibrant independence, ultimately shaping the trajectory of their time together. Priscilla's memoirs provide a deep insight into Elvis Presley's controlling nature, highlighting how he shaped her life and career decisions. She recounts how he often rejected her ambitions, particularly her desire to pursue a Hollywood career. Elvis wanted her to fit into a specific mold, one that aligned with his views on women and their roles. This control extended beyond Priscilla to other women in his life, such as Anita Wood and Linda Thompson. They too experienced restrictions influenced by Elvis's beliefs. He held traditional views about gender roles, which often led to tensions and conflicts in his relationships. These women faced limitations on their independence and career aspirations, reflecting the broader societal norms of the time, but also revealing Elvis's personal insecurities. His need for control often overshadowed their dreams, leaving them to navigate their identities in the shadow of his fame and expectations. The stories shared in these memoirs paint a complex picture of love intertwined with power dynamics, demonstrating how Elvis's influence shaped the lives of those closest to him. Despite their compatibility, the relationship between Elvis Presley and Margret faced significant challenges. Both were stars in their own right, with Elvis being the king of rock and roll, and Margret carving out her own niche in film and music. Their connection was strong and filled with affection, but Elvis's traditional views on gender roles created a gap between them. He held a belief that men should be the primary decision-makers in a relationship, which clashed with Margret's growing career and independence. This difference in perspectives led Elvis to express doubts about the future of their relationship. He cared deeply for Margret and enjoyed their time together, yet he feared that their differing views on roles within a partnership would prevent a lasting bond. This internal conflict highlighted the complexities of their romance, revealing how personal beliefs can impact love, even when feelings are genuine and profound. Their time together was magical, yet the realities of life and career ambitions loomed large, shaping their story in ways they could not fully control. Some believed Elvis was jealous of Margret's success and the attention she received. She was a talented actress and singer, gaining popularity that sometimes overshadowed his own. This created tension in their relationship, as Elvis struggled with his feelings of envy. Margret's independence and career ambitions posed a challenge Elvis couldn't overcome. He was accustomed to being the center of attention and found it difficult to share that spotlight. Her drive and determination to succeed made him feel insecure, leading to complications in their romance. The breakup was influenced by multiple factors, including Elvis's promise to Priscilla and his desire for control. He had made commitments to Priscilla that weighed heavily on him, and he felt a sense of obligation to honor those promises. This internal conflict, combined with the pressures of their respective careers, ultimately drove a wedge between him and Margret. The complexities of their relationship were marked by both love and the struggles of maintaining independence in the face of fame. Elvis had strong feelings for Margret, and their relationship was intense and passionate. However, there were conditions tied to their love. Elvis expressed a desire to marry Margret, but he had specific expectations for what that marriage would entail. He wanted her to step away from the spotlight of show business. This was a significant request, as Margret was on a rising trajectory in her career. She was gaining fame and success, and leaving it all behind was not something she could easily consider. The demands of her career and the expectations Elvis had for a wife created a rift between them. While both shared a deep connection, the realities of their professional lives made it challenging to envision a future together. Margret's continued success in Hollywood made her increasingly incompatible with Elvis's vision of a traditional marriage. This conflict ultimately led to the end of their romantic relationship, leaving both to pursue their respective paths in the entertainment world. Elvis was drawn to Priscilla's innocence, seeing in her a blank canvas that he could shape into his ideal partner. Their relationship began when she was just a teenager, and he was already a major star. This age difference allowed Elvis to exert a significant amount of control over her life. He influenced her appearance, encouraging her to adopt a style that matched his image. He also monitored her friendships, often dictating who she could see and how she could interact with others. This control created a dynamic where Priscilla felt both loved and restricted, torn between her admiration for Elvis and her desire for independence. As time went on, Priscilla began to recognize the limitations imposed on her. She wanted to carve out her own identity beyond being Elvis's girlfriend. Eventually, she found the courage to break free from his control. This decision led her to pursue her own career in acting, where she found success and a sense of empowerment. She also ventured into business, demonstrating her ability to thrive independently. Priscilla's journey reflects a transformation from a young woman molded by Elvis into a confident individual who embraced her own choices and aspirations. Elvis Presley and Anne Margaret shared a relationship that was marked by deep affection, trust, and respect, even after they went their separate ways. Their bond was more than just a romantic fling. It was built on a foundation of genuine care for one another. Elvis's love for Anne Margaret was clear to those who observed their interactions. He admired her talent and beauty, and she brought joy into his life during a time when he was navigating the pressures of fame. Despite the end of their romantic relationship, Anne Margaret continued to speak highly of Elvis, often reflecting on his true nature and the kindness he showed her. Their mutual respect endured, showcasing a connection that transcended the typical ups and downs of relationships. This lasting bond highlighted the loyalty they had for one another, proving that even after parting ways, the love they shared remained significant in their lives. The warmth and admiration they held for each other are a testament to the depth of their relationship. Elvis's choice to be with Priscilla instead of Anne Margaret reveals much about his character and values. His traditional views played a significant role in this decision. Elvis grew up in a conservative environment where family and commitment were highly valued. He saw Priscilla as a partner who could fit into the life he envisioned, one that aligned with his upbringing. Additionally, Elvis had a strong desire for control in his relationships. He wanted to be the one who set the rules and dynamics, and he believed that with Priscilla, he could maintain that control more effectively. Their relationship began when she was just a teenager, allowing him to shape her into the person he wanted by his side. Furthermore, Elvis had made promises of commitment to Priscilla, which he took seriously. These promises influenced his decision, as he felt a sense of duty to uphold them. This blend of traditional values, the need for control, and a commitment to promises ultimately guided Elvis in choosing Priscilla over Anne Margaret, reflecting the complexities of his personal life and relationship.